Welcome. You are right on time. We are standing on the precipice of another FIFA World Cup, a multi-billion-dollar spectacle of global dominance. But before the corporate sponsors and the pristine stadium lights, this game had a darker, more primitive soul. Join me as we strip away the modern polish and travel back to see exactly where this madness was born. Let's zoom in. Football, soccer, call it what you want. At its core, it is a psychological war disguised as a sport. Two factions of 11 men, pushed to their physical limits, trying to drive a sphere into enemy territory using everything but their hands. Only one man, the goalkeeper, stands isolated in the penalty box, holding the line. The objective is simple: score more than your opponent, or face absolute defeat. But the beautiful game wasn't always beautiful. Its true history is forged in stone and bathed in blood. 2,000 years ago, the Aztecs played chitali. The ball wasn't stitched leather. It was solid, unforgiving rock. If a fractured skull from a heavy stone ball doesn't sound brutal enough, consider the stakes. In this game, losing wasn't about missing a tournament or dropping points. The captain of the losing squad was routinely dragged to the altar and sacrificed to the gods. Winning was survival. Across the world in 206 BC, the Chinese military used a parallel version called kuju. They kicked a leather casing stuffed with fur and feathers, not for entertainment, but as a ruthless conditioning tool to harden their soldiers for the harsh realities of ancient warfare. Meanwhile, from the Roman empires to the Aboriginal tribes of Australia, early civilizations were all independently weaponizing variations of the same game. By the 12th century, the game reached England, mutating into folk football. There were no rules. Hundreds of citizens from rival villages flooded the streets in what was essentially a sanctioned riot. They didn't just kick the ball, they used fists, elbows, and raw violence. The chaos left behind a trail of severe injuries, broken bones, and destroyed property. It became so destructive and lethal that the British monarchy officially banned the sport entirely. For centuries, the game was driven underground, a forbidden counterculture, until it finally forced its way back into society in the 17th century. It flooded into elite English public schools, but it brought massive confusion with it. Every institution had its own version. Some allowed full contact tackling and handling, others demanded pure footwork. Fed up with the constant disputes, a group of undergraduate students met at Cambridge in 1848. They drafted 11 definitive laws to govern the chaos and nailed them directly to a campus tree. The Cambridge Rules were born. The most revolutionary law? Hands were strictly forbidden, drawing a hard line that separated soccer from rugby forever. This standardized sport quickly became an escape for the working class. A raw, competitive release after a brutal week of hard labor in industrial factories. Wherever the British Empire expanded its colonial grip, they carried this game with them. It spread like a virus. In 1872, England and Scotland clashed in the first official international match, ending in a tense, scoreless draw. By 1883, the first international tournament united England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. And in 1904, FIFA was established to control the global phenomenon. The rest is modern history. Here is the raw truth. Did you know the inaugural FIFA World Cup was held in the intense heat of Uruguay in July 1930? The hosts, Uruguay, fought their way through the tournament to be crowned the very first true World Cup champions. Hold that thought. We are just getting started. Let's zoom out. It's easy to look at the peak of human performance and assume it was guaranteed, but greatness isn't given. It is extracted from trauma. Consider the machine that is Cristiano Ronaldo. Let's zoom in. February 5th, 1985. A boy is born in the slums of Madeira, Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro. But there were no celebrations. Facing crushing poverty, hunger, and an unstable household, his parents openly despaired at the burden of bringing a fourth child into a world they couldn't afford. Ronaldo grew up in a state of constant financial desperation. He and his street friends would walk to the back doors of local burger shops, begging the staff for leftover food just to get through the night. But what they lacked in resources, they made up for in obsession. Ronaldo spent every waking hour on the brutal concrete streets, kicking a makeshift ball made of dirty rags. The street was his first arena. At age 8, his father, who worked a low-paying job as a kitman for the local club Madeira, managed to get him onto a real pitch. The other club members openly mocked the boy. He was too skinny, too frail, too weak to survive the sport. Ronaldo took that mockery and turned it into pure psychological fuel. He locked himself in the gym, sneaking in late at night to build a physique that could withstand the punishment. By age 10, he was already the undisputed king of the island. At 14, he made the cold calculation to drop out of school entirely. He bet his entire life on football. Then, the universe tested his resolve. At 15, he was hit with a medical death sentence, racing heart syndrome. His heart was a ticking time bomb. Doctors delivered a brutal ultimatum: undergo a high-risk heart surgery that could fail, or walk away from the game forever to save his life. But they didn't understand the mind of a predator. Ronaldo chose the blade. The surgery was a high-stakes success, and within days the teenager was back on the pitch, training like a madman while his peers slept. His work ethic bordered on insanity. By 16, he was a professional. On August 6, 2003, destiny arrived. In a friendly match against Manchester United, a teenage Ronaldo tore the legendary English defense to pieces with such terrifying skill that the United players personally begged Sir Alex Ferguson to sign him before they left the stadium. Days later, he became the most expensive teenager in football history. Consider the value of perfection. Real Madrid eventually insured Ronaldo's legs for a staggering $144 million. Yet, even that massive figure is eclipsed by his ultimate rival, Lionel Messi, whose left foot carries a historic $900 million insurance policy. Let that sink in. Until next time, I'm zooming out. If Ronaldo is the triumph of human engineering and sheer will, his counterpart represents something entirely different, a pure, natural anomaly that nearly never happened. This is the dark, agonizing journey of Lionel Messi. Let's zoom in. June 24, 1987, Rosario, Argentina. Lionel Messi enters a world dictated by economic struggle. His father, Jorge, slaved away as a steel factory worker, while his mother, Celia, worked grueling hours in a magnet workshop. They were trapped in a cycle of survival. From the moment he could walk, the boy was an anomaly. By age 4, he was humiliating older, stronger kids on the dirt streets of Rosario. At 6, he joined Newell's Old Boys, decimating the league by scoring nearly 500 goals in 6 years. He was hailed as a prodigy, but the universe has a way of balancing the scales. At age 10, Messi was diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency. His physical development stopped dead. He was drastically smaller than every other kid on the pitch, rendering him a fragile target in a highly physical, unforgiving sport. The cure was a financial nightmare. His family faced catastrophic expenses for daily, painful hormone injections required to force his body to grow. For years, a young child had to manually inject himself every single night, balancing the agony of his treatment with the relentless pressure to perform. Then came psychological grief. Right before his 11th birthday, his absolute pillar of support, his grandmother, passed away. The loss devastated the young boy. To this day, every single time Messi scores, he points his hands to the heavens, a silent, permanent blood pact of gratitude to the woman who believed in him first. In 2001, his family uprooted their entire lives, moving to Barcelona, Spain, on a desperate gamble. But the transition was brutal. Bureaucratic transfer battles locked him out of official matches. He was completely isolated. His silent, introverted nature was so profound that his own teammates genuinely believed he was mute. Homesickness ripped his family apart. His mother and siblings returned to Argentina, leaving Messi alone in a foreign land with just his father, fighting for a future that wasn't guaranteed. But in 2002, he entered Barcelona's legendary La Masia Academy, and the world finally witnessed the monster they had created. He shattered every record in existence. Yet for all his club glory, a ghost haunted him. The crushing weight of a nation demanding a World Cup. On December 18, 2022, in the most dramatic football final ever contested, the ghost was conquered. Messi lifted the World Cup trophy, solidifying his myth not just as a player, but as a symbol of absolute perseverance. To appreciate his absolute dominance, look at the cold data. Lionel Messi holds the official Guinness World Record for the most goals scored in a single calendar year. In 2012, he found the back of the net an unbelievable, historic 91 times. Two different paths, two distinct icons, one eternal debate. I'm zooming out.